Hey, what's up? Hello. I'm Kate Moans.
And I'm Haley Hartshee.
And we're 1738 Radio here at High Point University. We're here with very special guest, George Horga Jr. from Season 5 of The Voice. You might remember him on his audition singing Bruno Mars's Treasure, landing him a spot on Team CeeLo. So, George, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you guys doing?
We are awesome. We're excited that you're here on the show.
Well, thanks so much for having me, honestly. Thank you.
Yeah, we're excited.
Super excited to talk to you.
Yeah, so I thought that we could do this kind of like a chronological timeline type thing. So rumor has it that you got your start from being a drummer in your uncle's band, The Messengers. So was he the person that brought you to your musical side, or how'd you get exposed to music?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely part of it. My uncle's pretty successful band out in Europe. They came out of the church, as did I, growing up drumming and playing instruments. And slowly but surely, I realized I liked to sing and figured I was probably a little better at singing than I was at everything else. So, yeah, definitely he was a big influence. A big start of it was in the family. To just find my roots in music was through that.
Yeah, so you mentioned that you're from, like, the church, and I follow you on social media, and I saw that you, are you, like, a worship leader for, is it Agape, Alive Church, or how do I say that?
Yes, yeah, I actually am doing worship, leading worship right now at my church, Agape. Our band's called Alive. Working on a worship album, actually, with them.
No
so
way.
That's been
That's
fun,
amazing.
and that's been cool. Just kind of changing up things from living in L.A., and I live in Portland. And doing the whole worship side of music, which is still really cool. Really, really cool and really fun to be involved in that type of way.
So when I watched you on The Voice, you mentioned that you moved to LA to pursue your dream. So you said that you moved back to Portland?
Yeah, so I moved to LA when I was 18. I lived there for about 2 years, and it was great. It was amazing. It was absolutely, it was a dream come true. I had so many opportunities and so many doors open to me, but I came home for Thanksgiving one year and kind of never got on my flight back to LA because I just missed being home and I missed the normal family life.
Oh, wow.
It was just what I wanted more than being down there at the time. It was more than I wanted than being I don't know how to explain it. It felt like home here, and it just felt right being back in church and leading worship. So for now, that's where I am.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to get caught up in the whole Hollywood idea, but at the end of the day, it's definitely your family and friends are what matter most.
Yeah, definitely. That's I would highly recommend to anybody and everybody that you can search for happiness around every single corner that you want with money, fame, and power, but at the end of the day, it's the people that love you and the simple life that will really get you happiness, because I've seen it all and I've done it all. And I really feel like that's where you can truly be happy. It's just where you feel happy.
Well, it's good to see
amazing. That's really great advice.
Yeah, it's good to see that you're being such a positive role model for people. So question, I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but what was it like working with CeeLo?
Yeah, I do get asked that a lot, and actually still, it's so surprising to me that people still ask me that, because it seems like a different lifetime ago to me, the show and everything. But CeeLo actually, even this last month was my birthday. I turned 22. He actually just texted me happy birthday as well. So that goes to show the type of person he is. Really down to earth, really awesome. I mean, the type of guy to say, "Hey, let's go grab a bite to eat."
That's
just
awesome.
really, really down to earth person.
Oh, he seems like it. He seems like quite the character in all of his eccentric clothing, just super chill.
Of course.
Yeah.
Everyone's kind of like that, Everyone, you kind of realize after living in LA for a while that everyone's just human, and we're all just people, and they're all just people that, are living just a little different lives, I guess. But, yeah, no, he was really awesome, and everyone on the show and everyone in that whole industry is usually pretty down-to-earth people.
Yes. Do you get recognized a lot in public?
When I first was on the show, I was just talking about this the other day with a friend who was asking me, and I didn't really realize, how well-known I was at the time. I was going in airports, and, the security checkpoint people would, say, I like watching you so much. I didn't realize how big the show was, to be honest, and it kind of didn't sink in until maybe a year after it happened and kind of everything went away. I realized, wow, I was getting so much attention when I was on the show. I could have literally done anything and been anywhere, and people would have known who I am. And from time to time, it still pops up. I was I do a little bit of construction here and there with my dad for the family business. And one of the guys that I was working for was like, "Hey, my daughter knows who you are," and it was really funny on the job site, out of nowhere. So yeah, here and there people recognize who I am. It's really flattering, honestly. It's crazy that people still even remember.
That would make me smile for sure.
And I think The Voice is definitely a show that's very much getting more popular, I would say, because of X Factor not being a thing anymore. So
it's a really well put together show. I'm really happy to be a part of it. I wish I would have done a little better, but I'm just really happy to even be a part of that.
Then
show.
What would you have done differently to further your experience throughout The Voice?
I was really unexperienced. I was really naive, and even though it was only a couple of years ago, I was really young. I felt like I just didn't know much about the industry. I didn't realize what I was doing because, they tape all this stuff, and you're living in the hotel for about 2 months, and, you're going through all the motions, and you don't really realize what's about to happen, because it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So as you're singing through the rounds and before the live rounds and stuff, you kind of don't realize how big of a deal it is. And not that I didn't take it seriously, I took it very seriously, but I just didn't know. I wasn't experienced. I didn't know how to sing live. When I look back at what I sang, I'm like, I cringe compared to what I can do now. I'm like, oh man, not horrible performances, but I know that
you could do better.
If I would be on the show like now, I really, and anybody around me even that's heard me throughout the years and whatnot can testify that I feel like I was like at 30% of what I could have really done, but it was a learning experience, and I'm really grateful and blessed to even like have that door open for me and to learn and to see what most people won't see. So either way, I'm happy that I was able to be a part of it.
Do you think that you would audition again?
If they would let me, I would think about it. It crosses my mind from time to time to go do something like that. But right now, I'm focusing on my little album that I'm going to come out with here soon, and going to see what I can do with that. It's going to be like a Christian, positive type feel. But I still work in top 40 music a lot.
Awesome.
I still write for other artists. I still play songs here and there. So I'm just focusing on that side of my career with music.
That's awesome.
So, I'm working with people in Japan because my producer that I worked with in LA has been extremely, extremely gracious with me and has opened some awesome doors. So I've landed a few songs in movies.
I heard. Wasn't one of your songs in We Are Your Friends with Zac Efron?
Yeah. Actually, that was one of them.
Cool.
That is
actually one
awesome.
thing I was actually excited about. Yeah, it was pretty exciting to me, at least, because I've done other things, but for some reason, I'm just a huge Zac Efron fan.
Aren't we all?
Oh, aren't we?
Yeah, okay, I can understand you guys, definitely.
It's okay.
But,
Man Crush Monday.
No, definitely was happy with that.
That's awesome. So, are you still in contact with anyone from The Voice? I know Tessa Anshin, she won, but I haven't really heard much about her music and career. So, what's that all about?
I think I texted her maybe just a couple times after she won. I waited a few weeks and texted her congrats, and she was like, "Oh, thank you, hope you're doing well." But other than that, I spoke with I was good friends with Jackie Lee for a while. So after we met up, had a few lunches and stuff. From seasons before, I'm actually really good friends with Des Duran, if you guys know.
Oh yeah.
Season 3.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Yeah, look him up. He's really I don't know. He's a really good guy. He kind of did the same exact thing I did. Lived in LA, did The Voice, and moved back home because he just felt like it was right. He made it a lot further than I did. Matt Schuler, I was really good friends with. Brandon Chase. I don't know. Him as well. I don't know. Just here and there. I still keep in contact with a lot of my music industry friends, even though I'm living in Portland and stuff, just because they're good people, So
yeah,
I like good people.
Do you watch the current seasons of The Voice? CeeLo's not on it, so how does that make you feel?
To be completely honest, I barely even watch my season. I never was. Maybe when I was younger, I watched American Idol and stuff. But
weren't you on American Idol? Didn't you try out for that?
Yeah, when I was younger, I was on it for a second. It was a
second.
It was a small little thing. I was super young then. I really had no clue what I was doing.
Yeah. But
that
cool that's an accomplishment. The Voice, American Idol. Now you're making songs for movies. That's something you should be proud of. So
I'm definitely happy, definitely blessed. I think life is about stepping back and realizing what you have and being grateful for what you have accomplished and what you still can. I spent a lot of my years when I was living in LA very impatient, kind of always thinking about the future and, man, I need to get here, I need to do this, instead of just living in the moment and appreciating what was happening in front of me. So shout out to anybody who's stressing out, because you should not. Just ride the wave as it is right now.
Take a breath and say a little prayer.
Live in the moment.
Live in the moment.
Seriously.
Amen.
I mean, that's my biggest thing that I tell everybody. Like, man, I've seen everything, so many things in my life. I've met anybody and everybody I've met Bieber, I've met Selena, I've met all these huge people. And to be completely honest, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, focus on your happiness and not striving to be, I don't know, whether you're striving to be a millionaire, whether you're striving to be super famous or whatnot. It's really not going to get you anywhere stressing out about it, because, like I said earlier, your happiness is really found in the people that love you and the good things you already have around you.
Yeah, that's really good advice, and I'm really happy you said that. People need to focus on those type of priorities instead of the monetary things.
Everyone that's going to be listening to this, take that to heart.
Take that to heart. Yep.
I guess you guys are. Is this like, do college kids listen to this, or what's the?
Yes.
What's the usually?
We are streamed online, but we've interviewed a few people that are kind of big on YouTube and here and there. After this, we have an interview with Demi Lovato's personal assistant, who just moved over to Dancing with the Stars. So we're trying to
She also graduated from High Point too. So it's kind of cool to be interviewing someone that graduated from here, with a success story. So we just like to interview a bunch of different people
and hopefully try to expand it past or beyond the campus. We're electronic media majors, so we would love to hopefully one day get more involved with that.
Well, I believe you can. You guys honestly have really good charisma, really entertaining to talk to. So
that's
really cool.
I know that you're back in Portland now, but does that affect your music career being there and not LA?
LA is a place where you can make anything happen if you work hard enough. Just depends how long you want to wait. Or how lucky you get, how blessed you get. I moved to LA when I was 15 years old, and all I ever knew was my family and my church friends. So I got dropped into the middle of music industry and entertainment industry at 18 years old, and it really, I can tell you that I hated LA in an aspect of, okay, I would never live here and settle down and have a family and, like, get married in the city and whatnot and have my kids here. Never, never, never. But looking back, as someone young and aspiring to be something in the entertainment industry, it's insane what happens when you move in the Hollywood area.
Really?
Because it's not really LA. It's more like North Hollywood district, Hollywood district. That's really, or like Studio City, a lot of really successful people there. But it's just like you walk into Subway and you'll meet the vice president of Warner Brothers, or you know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, my Bible study was with Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber,
really?
Years ago. Yeah, and that happened out of, like, nowhere.
Insane.
And that's just because, I guess I'll say that I got really, really fortunate. Most people move to LA and that doesn't really happen to them. For some reason, I moved to LA and I don't know, like, every single door opened for me, and I got to meet everybody, and everyone seemed to really enjoy my company for whatever reason. And before the year was over, I was already, in contact with very huge people, whether I met them at a coffee shop or whether my producer introduced me, whether I was in the studio and I bumped into them. It's just a place where you want to be, and you can become wildly successful if people like you. If people like you and you're in LA, and you can make good impressions, then you can become successful at what you do. Now, I moved back to Portland. I would say that if you do not live in LA and you do not already have an established or a growing career in the entertainment industry, you're making it 10 times harder on yourself by not moving to, New York or LA or Nashville. Nashville is a growing market right now as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
Nashville. I love Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville's awesome.
Yeah. If you're not there, in my opinion, anything that comes your way is just you're killing it. Like, if you're doing something and you're living out in, I don't know, Minnesota or something, and you're, somehow getting records out to huge execs and, making contacts, and then you're doing something right, and it's time to make the next move, whether it's moving or, I don't know, financially investing into your career. But me living in Portland, I am shocked and just without words that I'm getting business and getting work with major labels while living here, because I'm not doing anything to pursue it. It's honestly all God, and it's honestly people that I can honestly say. Jason Mater, he's my producer. He's really just people putting their neck on the line, saying, "Hey, this kid, has this. Let's pitch it here and pitch it there." Because if it wasn't for that, no, I wouldn't have a music career. If it wasn't for people in LA pitching my stuff and working my stuff, I would not be successful like that. Because maybe I'd have little things in Portland, but I mean, how are you supposed to really break the top 40 market in entertainment when you're, going and playing out lounges in Portland?
Exactly.
It's not really gonna happen.
Well, it's funny you say all of that because I'm from San Diego, so I've been up to LA multiple times, and I know the whole vibe. I love it. It's definitely not for everyone. Don't know if I'd actually be able to live there just because it is very, in a sense, superficial. But when you're saying about the whole career, that was probably my biggest fear with coming to High Point, just because North Carolina, what is there to do in the electronic media world of North Carolina? But I realized that God has a plan, and he has opened so many doors. So really, like, giving him all the glory is where it's at, because being here, I'm interviewing you now. So, I mean, it's really what you make of it. So I agree with you when you say that.
If you do move to LA,
that would probably be me.
Well, you really, really, when I moved to LA, I told myself, listen, this is who I am. Be careful. Don't change yourself, George. Like, because it can very easily, there's a few times I remember I went to a few Grammy after parties. I went to a few really, really big events where it was extremely VIP. I mean, extremely high-end, just like in the movies. And I got in because my radio promoter at the time is extremely powerful, and, he got me these tickets. And you can really, I remember going home that night, and I was taking the limo service that picked me up, and I caught myself with a huge head, just thinking, man, I'm, walking the red carpet, I'm walking in, and as I pulled up to my apartment, it kind of hit me that I was like, wow, within 24 hours, I've completely lost, and not like I did anything crazy, because I'm not much of a partier, I'm not, much of a drinker or much like anything like that, but still, just the thought you get in your head, just the chip on your shoulder you get, like you're better than everybody else, is very dangerous. It's extremely dangerous, and it can ruin even the strongest of people, especially when you talk about God and your faith. And, some people, I mean, Katy Perry came into the music industry from the Christian standpoint. She came in preaching Bible verses. I mean,
same with Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, I mean, same with Miley Cyrus. I mean, and it can corrupt you very easily. It can I mean, like my producers always told me, LA will eat you up and spit you back out, and will not care. It won't give a crap. It will do it to you, and people will too. And 99% of people get eaten up and spit back out. That's just the truth. I've seen it. I mean, I would talk to people in my apartment, and they would be like, "Yeah, I've been here for 7 years, but my break's coming." I'm just like, well, another more 7 years, and maybe it will, but it depends how you want to spend your life. You know?
Right.
Yeah, so, people just have to stay strong to their roots. But,
so I don't even know if you're going to use that in the interview, but that's most of you guys, to have, to stay, definitely, if success comes your way in a big way, especially if you guys are, from what I hear, God-fearing people, the Lord gives and takes away very quickly, extremely quickly. Yeah. And if you do anything, and if you know the truth, and the second you lose sight of the truth, you'll be surprised how quick God can turn the tables on your life and be like, well, you know what? I'd rather have your soul than give you a beautiful life, so let me take all this away.
And that's what I was raised in like a Christian household, but recently, being in North Carolina, I found a church that I'm able to call my home. And a few days ago on Sunday, I was baptized. So,
yes, that's awesome.
Yes. So, all right, one last question. What can we expect to see of George Horga Jr. in the future?
Honestly, I really have a good feeling about this Christian music I'm coming out with.
Mm-hmm.
I do also have a couple, love songs on there,
mm-hmm.
but they're positive love songs. I believe I can break in both markets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just waiting right now. If someone were to ask me that, I guess I would just say you can expect a lot of slow and steady pace with my career, because I'm in no rush to blow up. I'm in no rush to perform to 50,000 people quite yet. One day, do I believe it could happen? Yeah, completely.
Mm-hmm.
I just right now I'm in such a peaceful state.
You're 22.
Yeah, I know. I'm young. And,
that's crazy to think that you could be a senior in college.
I know.
You're young.
Right?
Mm-hmm. You have a lot more time.
Yep.
I do. I have a lot of time, and I want to enjoy my life right now and enjoy
do what
the
you
young
love.
days.
Mm-hmm.
My friends are coming over tonight to barbecue. Instead of being in LA working, I'm enjoying my friends here. And I'm gonna come out with that music. I've thought about maybe. I mean, this is like real down low. I've talked to a few managers about maybe getting some acting stuff. Getting a few little roles.
That's awesome.
I feel like I would love to do that. So.
When you say that you're working on your Christian album, but also you just came out with Lights On in November, so are you going to do more of that as well?
As of right now, the top 40 kind of secular stuff is on hold. I mean, I still do it because it's a part of my work. I mean, there's sometimes I get paid for it, for like the movies or for other artists. Like I'm featured in some Japanese artists or some Italian DJs, and I'm singing and I'm writing songs, but those are features, and those are, it's also good music, but it's a job, and it's something that I love to do. But right now I'm definitely going to focus on the Christian stuff. But yeah, you'll see here and there like little parts of stuff that's not completely Christian. I mean, if you do catch me, though, one day, doing really bad music, I give you permission to slap me, because I don't think that's ever going to happen. So if people are waiting on that, that's not really in the plan.
I'll be sure to come hunt you down and knock some sense into you. My cousin lives in Portland,
please,
so.
Please do. Feel free.
All right.
But, yeah, that's about it for me, man. Just a simple 22-year-old guy just cruising through life trying to enjoy it.
That's amazing. And we'll enjoy it. You have a while. You're still young. Do what you love. And
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. We really wish you the best, and we're gonna be fans of your music for now and always. It's really your God-given gift, and I'm glad that you're using it for good. So we're excited to see what the future holds for you. So
thank you so much for doing this.
You guys seem like two really, really awesome people.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm very excited. I'll follow you guys' career and lives as well.
Oh, thank you
so much.
If I'm ever in Portland, I'll hit you up.
Oh, please do.
I will.
I'm always open to lunch and ice cream and,
awesome.
And waterfalls and a whole bunch of cool things in Portland.
I have to follow you on Instagram. I don't think I do.
I do. So
I'll follow you right now. You can follow me back,
Okay, I'll follow you both back.
All right. Thanks so much,
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Sounds great. Have a great night, guys.
Bye.